Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Wonder Woman compared to Captain America, the first Avenger. And we're going to also talk about 75 years of advertising for Wonder Woman through cosplay. So let's get into it. So, first and foremost, before we get into that, we're going to look at a piece of scripture that says in Proverbs 18, through desire, a man having separated himself seeks and mixes with all wisdom. But a fool has no delight in understanding, that his heart may discover itself. One person focuses inwardly, one person focuses outwardly. It's better to focus outward on others and what you can do for them, because it helps you as a person and it comes back to you, than focusing inwardly on what you can take from other people. If you want to know more about God and Jesus, just ask them. So let's get into Wonder Woman compared to Captain America, the first Avenger. So here is Wonder Woman. Now there's some similarities between the two characters, so we'll look at that. And we'll also look at some differences. Even though the Wonder Woman movie hasn't come out, we're going to look at the similarities and differences. First thing, both are war pieces. One's in World War I, one's in World War II. The second is both protagonists want to go into war for varied reasons. And of course, Captain America, as you can see here, uses a shield. And so does Wonder Woman. Here's her shield right there. Now, other than that, I don't think there's much more that's common with the two people. Alright, their origin stories are completely different. You can see that Captain America, first of all, he does not use sword. You know, he has a shield, but he uses guns, and he's dressed more like someone in a time period of World War II. Okay, he's dressed in a World War II uniform. When you look at Wonder Woman, on the other hand, and in the posters, by the way, Wonder Woman's kind of standing with her sword and her shield. You have Captain America with his shield there, so he features his shield. But when you look at Wonder Woman here in this poster, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. There you go. I'm going to zoom back in. Alright, when you look at Wonder Woman, she's really dressed in ancient warrior uniform. Okay? And we talked about this in another video. She's literally dressed as an ancient warrior here. Okay? She has the sword, she has the protection. Okay? Protection at the arms and the knees and the feet. Okay? So she can block bullets with all of these things, projectiles with the shield as well. But she's dressed as an ancient warrior. She also uses sometimes a bow and a staff. And she also uses bow and arrow. Captain America, on the other hand, is not dressed as an ancient warrior, but as you can see here, he uses a gun, he uses a shield. The shield is actually slightly out of place in a way, because why is he using a shield? This is World War II, where World War I we had horses, and we still had little new editions of cars. We had tanks, we had submachine guns, but then we also had swords. So it was an era where you mixed the ancient with the present. In World War II, it was mostly guns and stuff. Nobody was using no shield. So it's kind of weird to see that. And he's got the American colors with the stars and stuff. And it's kind of forced in a way. So he feels out of place. But his costuming is mostly for World War II. He even dresses like a World War II soldier at certain points in time in the movie. So when you look at Wonder Woman, she's actually an ancient warrior in a sort of modernized setting, which is transferring from the ancient to the modern. Okay, whereas with Captain America, he's in a setting that's modern, but he somehow ends up with a shield. We don't know why, but it features him, and he uses the shield in some respects like how Wonder Woman uses her shield as well in the movie. But Wonder Woman generally uses so many other different things and comes from a different background to Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers actually became Captain America because he was given a particular serum which enhanced him. So he says here, Steve Rogers, a rejected military soldier, transforms into Captain America after taking a dose of a super soldier serum. So he's a super soldier. But being Captain America comes at a price as he attempts to take down a warmonger and terrorist organization. That would be Hydra, and the leader of Hydra, which was Red Skull. When we look at Wonder Woman, she has a different history altogether to Steve Rogers. She's known as Diana, Princess of the Amazon, so she's from Amazon, Themyscira. It's a completely different place to New York. She's not from man's world. She's trained to be an unconquerable warrior, so she cannot be defeated. Okay, she was trained to the hilt. When an American pilot crashes on her shores and tells of a massive conflict raging in the outside world, she leaves her home convinced she can stop the threat. Okay, so that's basically her story. Steve Rogers' story is different. You just heard the two different synopses. They're completely different stories. So when you look at Diana on surface value, oh yeah, she's a soldier, she's a warrior. Steve's a warrior. Yeah, but the stories are different. Steve was rejected because he was so small and diminutive. We'll see it in the trailers that I will show you, a TV spot. So I'm going to show you the TV spot right now for Captain America, and I'll show you the TV spot for Wonder Woman. So here's Captain America's TV spot, which kind of explains everything. So we're going to look at that. I'm going to take off the sound volume here, and we're just going to blow him up a bit, and let's get into it. So we'll describe it as we move along. So here's Steve Rogers. You see little Steve Rogers there? And there he is. He's a small, diminutive little guy. There he is right there. Okay? Small, diminutive little guy. That's what Steve Rogers was. He grew up always smaller, but he always had tenacity. He never gave up, and he would just keep on going at it. He's very persistent. He was a very convicted individual. He wanted to sign up for the war, but he was too small. He still tried out for it. Eventually, he was converted, as you see, into Captain America here. And after being converted into Captain America, he was a super soldier who could fight wars. You see him using the shield to knock away a guy. You see even the villain, Red Skull, there. And you see him fighting. He's riding a motorcycle. He's shooting guns. And he uses the shield to block bullets and throw it as well. Right? So that's Steve Rogers, a.k.a. Captain America. He became Captain America. Now, Wonder Woman is a different story altogether. We're going to look at the TV clip Wonder Woman Goddess. Okay? And her story is a little bit different. One second here. Cut the sound. Okay, so her story is a little bit different. I'm just going to scroll back here to the beginning. So here she is. She's taking on a soldier, for instance, right? But then you see her. She's fighting a war right now. Very great soldier. But you see her in Themyscira here. Now, she's always been trained for war. That's the difference between her and Steve Rogers. She'd been bred to fight. She was a bred warrior. So she could fight. Okay, period. And she's trained in the ancient style of fighting. She was also, as she explains, the Themyscirians and the Amazons were actually created by the gods to actually defend the world. So she had a purpose for being there. So her reason for going to war was completely different to Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers was eager to go into battle because he wanted to fight. He wanted to represent his country. Wonder Woman went into the war to bring about balance and peace. She wanted to end the war that was happening. Okay, so there's a totally different reasons already. Steve Rogers are crashed on her shores, actually. Okay, here she is in the heat of battle. Incredible, using the shield there to block bullets. She also had braces she blocks bullets with. Again, ancient into present. Okay, she's considered a goddess, which means she is not just a physical human being. In fact, I don't even know if she's human. We're going to find out what she really is in the movie. Okay, because the gods created them to defend. And you can see she's an extraordinary fighter. Okay, so Steve Rogers he's good, but, you know, she is from another era, another time. It's like the ancient Greeks hyped up like Hercules and these guys fighting modern warfare. Okay, so that's Wonder Woman, and you can see she don't need no help to beat people up. Okay, she can take on a whole entire army. You're seeing it there. So Wonder Woman's a different story, completely different story to Captain America, the First Avenger. I think people liken both Captain America, the First Avenger to Wonder Woman for one particular reason. Captain America, the First Avenger was the first superhero film to actually go back into period, go back into the past, into a war environment and actually give a story. And it was I still consider it in the top 3 best MCU or Marvel films ever of all time. I think the only thing that might possibly trump it is Iron Man, the very first Iron Man. And Iron Man didn't have as good a story as Captain America the First Avenger. Captain America the First Avenger was really an adventure. And though it went through mostly the same themes as Iron Man, how to work with others and learning how to lead and so on, it still was quite an epic story. Quite an epic story. I go back and watch it on occasion because I really like it. This is my favorite Marvel movie besides Spider-Man, the very first Spider-Man movie, is Captain America the First Avenger. I think Spider-Man trumps it because Spider-Man had so much tragedy and so on. But Captain America the First Avenger is my second best Marvel movie of all time. Okay? I'm just saying. It trumps The Winter Soldier, it trumps Civil War, all of those stuff. They're not as good as Captain America the First Avenger, the origin story. Spider-Man, the very first Spider-Man, is the best Spider-Man, I think. And those are the 2 that are the best movies. After that, you can put Iron Man, and that's it. That's the top 3 for me. So, hell of a movie. And so if people are comparing Wonder Woman to that's an absolute compliment. But what I would say is they're not the same, though. Okay? In terms of breaking ground and doing a period film for a superhero movie, yes. But in terms of story, in terms of the characters themselves, there's not much similar between them. Not much at all. So I wanted to share that. Now let's go into cosplay. That's the next thing we're going to look at. Cosplay of Wonder Woman. And this in itself is advertising. I mean, the different aspects of Wonder Woman are shown by these different women. And basically Wonder Woman is like qualities of every woman. Every woman wants to be sexy. So you have the sexy aspect of Wonder Woman. Okay? And that's why this woman is showing off her rear end. Okay? Because she likes being sexy. But then the other aspect is when women like you to tell the truth. They want you to be truthful. They want you to be honest. So you have that aspect of Wonder Woman, which is there as well. She has the lasso of truth, which makes you have to tell the truth, you know. So there's that other aspect of Wonder Woman, which is the moral fabric of her. She is actually somebody who's pure. She's someone who literally wants to see love and peace and kindness, because she comes from a society where she did not know about chauvinism. She didn't know about oppression. She didn't know about that. Okay? So here is this woman showing the lasso of truth. Of course, she means something else by it as well, which has to do with control. Women would like to flip the tables on men and also dominate them or other people. So there's that aspect of it. But you also have the warrior aspect of Wonder Woman. And this woman is epitomizing a strong woman. And women are very strong. If you think about it, again, you look at the matriarchs of families, sometimes single parent families, whether it's also in large families, huge families, we have grandchildren and so on, and the woman survives, she lives longer than the man. Usually that happens. She outlives the man, so they have the matriarch. And it's very impressive, okay? The fierceness of Wonder Woman. When she has to fight, she's not somebody who loves to fight people and kill them and put them in bondage. She fights to liberate people. Sort of what United States of America and the Statue of Liberty is all about. But here we have this fierce little girl here epitomizing another aspect of Wonder Woman, which is the fierceness of her, the intensity of her. She has been bred to be a warrior. She is a sort of conflict because she's not just any warrior. She's a warrior who actually cares. She actually has compassion. She has heart. Whereas the Amazons don't want nothing to do with mankind. She stepped out of there and said, I'm going to do something for mankind because I believe there should be a balance somewhere here. So there's that aspect of her as well. And then, of course, there's the wisdom aspect of Wonder Woman. She is beautiful like Aphrodite's, but she's also very wise. And so Wonder Woman, even though she may not have the experience in man's world, slowly she gets to understand what man's world is about, and she can share wisdom with men. with mankind, not just tactical warrior wisdom. Wonder Woman is devoid of any gender, or even she's devoid. Well, she's mostly represents women, so I'm wrong about that. She does represent gender, but she's devoid of any sort of race or class. Wonder Woman is devoid of any dimensions. You can have slim people. You know, Wonder Woman's been slim. She's been big boned. She's been, you know, she had the different kinds of Wonder Woman. But at the end of the day, we recognize the icon, and we don't even see the people that represent the icon. Like, I don't know who this person is, but this epitomizes Wonder Woman. Look at the ancient dress again. This person really went into detailing, all right, to show Wonder Woman there. But again, you see sort of that wisdom sort of that she's supposed to espouse. She's supposed to be wise as well as strong. And you can see all these different women representing her. But at the end of the day, you recognize Wonder Woman when you see them. And that's very important. So, again, you see the confidence. And this is why a lot of women actually love Wonder Woman. She's very confident. She doesn't have any constraints on her. You know, she's an equal to mankind. Well, at least to Superman and Batman and so on. In some respects, she's above them. Okay? So, when you think about Wonder Woman, these are all the attributes and so on that so many women really, really like. And that's why she's been so popular for so long. In fact, she's probably the most popular cosplay out there. I don't think there's any other woman cosplay that women do as much in Comic-Con as Wonder Woman. Okay? And she is the greatest of all superheroes. Okay? She is the greatest. Now, you have the little girls representing her. You got the big grown woman, old woman representing her. You got the middle-aged woman representing her. And there are all these different feels and thoughts about Wonder Woman. She encapsulates everything that women have. Strength of character, strength of will, you know, going through various wars. They're able to withstand these things. Women are very strong, emotionally and so on. They will cry, but they will still continue to fight on. And so these are some of the attributes we see of Wonder Woman that we see in all of this cosplay. And all these various women playing these cosplay are showing these things. The sword. A sword is double-edged. And a double-edged sword has to do with thoughts and words as well. Wonder Woman epitomizes that. Now, Wonder Woman goes all the way back to the gods. Diana is a god, okay? And Diana goes all the way back to Ashtar, or Esther, which is another god. That's a Persian god way back in the day. And Esther goes all the way back to the Sumerian periods where we have these gods, okay? So, Wonder Woman, when they say she's a goddess, there's a reason why they're saying that in the Greek mythos. Again, the ancient clothing of Wonder Woman, a warrior. You see that here. This woman is definitely epitomizing that right now in her cosplay. And this is what makes it so awesome. This is what makes Wonder Woman so awesome. The warrior aspect of her, you can see here. So, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Besides her speed and wisdom and attractiveness and strength, Wonder Woman has some other characteristics, which is the great moral fabric. She tries to do the right thing. She strives to use her power for good. She uses responsibly. You know, if she has to go to war, she's going to war for a reason. So I wanted to share all of this with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you would be so kind, share this video with other people. Also, let people know about my channel and let them donate to my channel if they can. That helps a long way. I put out a lot of videos on Wonder Woman promoting this movie, upcoming movie, which is coming out June the 2nd. Also, King Arthur's coming out. Legend of the Sword. It's got mixed reviews so far, but it's still something I may go into the cinema and check out this Friday. This is another depiction of Wonder Woman. Attractive still, but again, modern day woman. the modern day woman. And in this case, it's a sort of strike back to say, look, man, you don't have to reveal all of my flesh. But then again, the truth be told, no one should be telling a woman what to do. Oh, that's too revealing, or that's not, so you should reveal more, or this or that or the other. No one should tell a woman what to do. There's one thing between objectifying people and making them less than they are and respecting them, and yet they can be sexy, they can be this, they can be that, they can do whatever they want with themselves because you respect them. There's a difference between that. And I think a lot of women are invested in this movie because they are hoping that this movie will show what Wonder Woman really is and how she never was under those constraints to have to appear to look a certain way or be anything else than herself. Which is what many women still to this day have to fight against. They want to go into certain fields and do certain things, and they still are having all of this negativity by certain men who are small-minded, who feel intimidated by them and threatened that they can do things better than them. And on top of that, not only do it better, but also they seem to do more. And these women, still to this day, we don't have equal pay in the United States of America. This is a very sad thing to say. Women should be paid the same amount for the same work that they do, and some of them go beyond the call. They're still not respected in certain circles in the United States of America and worldwide. In research, some women are still not respected and getting their respect. And there's still sexism. There's still men who walk around women and they go under the guise of complimenting them, but really they're being sexually doing sexually inappropriate things as well. And so women still have to go through this bashing phase, which is ridiculous. This should not happen in this age. So I just wanted to share all of that with you guys. I hope you enjoyed my video again. Don't forget to comment, share, subscribe, and donate. You guys have a great one.